So here we are, talking about compatible and healthy relationships, right? Join me in this video as we analyze the best and final relationship of Finn the human that was shown in Adventure Time. We'll dive into why it was so healthy, why these two characters complemented each other so well, and why they were simply amazing together. We'll also discuss a bit about this interesting and sensational character who, unfortunately, had very little screen time. She appeared out of nowhere, and just as quickly as she arrived, she was gone. Our dear Huntress wizard. I think it's no surprise to anyone that Finn went through a lot of suffering in Adventure Time. By the time he reached 17, he had accumulated a huge amount of trauma that he would probably carry with him for the rest of his life. He evolved from being an immature child who wanted to fight everything in sight to a man who understood just how senseless war really is. This is the guy who lost an arm, discovered that his father was a manipulative, selfish liar who cared about no one but himself, not even his own son. Finn learned that no matter what he did, he couldn't force someone to love him, even if that love should have naturally existed within them. It simply wasn't there, and that was it. Finn also went through a dark and depressive phase where he tried to fill the massive void inside him with meaningless relationships with various girls for whom he felt absolutely nothing. He learned incredibly important lessons about revenge, hatred, selfishness, and how life is much more complex than it seems. In the early years of his adolescence, he hurt himself a lot by falling in love with Princess Bubblegum and obsessively pursuing a romantic relationship with her, a relationship that was impossible. This pursuit hurt his mental health for quite a while during the show. Then, when he managed to establish a somewhat improbable relationship with Flame Princess, it all fell apart because of Finn's selfishness and lack of consideration for her feelings. And all of this happens in a very turbulent way, much like how the relationship began, if we stop to think about it. The realization that simply apologizing wouldn't fix everything or magically make things go back to how they were hit Finn's maturing mind like a tidal wave. It made no sense to him at the time. But yes, my friend, when you betray the trust of someone who loves you and play with their feelings without caring about them even a little, there's always a chance that person will never want to see you again, no matter how much you apologize. It's fascinating to see Finn display this kind of selfishness, just like his father. However, I won't delve too deeply into Finn's relationship with Flame Princess right now because that's a topic for another video, which I'll definitely cover here on the channel. The key point is that going through all these complicated, sad, and painful experiences in the series changed him. They helped him grow, mature, and gain a deeper understanding of people and the world around him. They taught him how life works and turned him into a better person, someone different from Martin. It's at this stage of his journey that Finn meets someone who seems to truly be good for him, Huntress Wizard, in that crazy episode, Flute Spell. Up to that point in the story, she had only appeared briefly here and there, always portrayed as a mysterious secondary character who could fight and had a cool design, but there was no indication that she would eventually show up again, become part of the main plot, or have any connection with the protagonists. However, all of this was a great surprise. The Huntress Wizard, in a way, ended up representing and making visible many important things about Finn at that point in the story. Most importantly, she highlighted his growth in terms of relationships. Honestly, I would call the Huntress an amazing and fascinating character. She has charm, charisma, and radiates a vibe of tranquility and peace that I can't fully explain. It's exactly as if she embodies nature itself. She approaches things in a simpler, lighter, and more fun way, as if she deeply understands everything around her. It's as though she comprehends life and its meaning. She knows what she wants, what she feels for Finn, and what Finn feels for her. All of this makes it clear that the Huntress Wizard had her own journey. We just didn't witness it. What I mean is that the two of them met at the right moment in their lives. One of the main reasons, besides Finn's lack of maturity, why his other romances didn't work or never even became real relationships is that those people weren't compatible with him. Bubblegum had her responsibilities in the Candy Kingdom, as well as the age difference between them. As for Flame Princess, well, she was made of fire, which on its own made the relationship complicated and even a bit dangerous. Finn had to carry foil around all the time, and they couldn't even touch each other. Sure, you could argue, but relationships aren't just about that, and I completely agree with you, my friend. Still, Flame Princess, like it or not, also had her duties to her people and her kingdom. After their breakup, she stepped up and embraced those responsibilities, which was the right thing to do. And hey, despite the differences, I really liked Finn and Flame Princess together, and I was pretty upset when Finn acted like a complete jerk and ended everything so suddenly. For a long time, I hoped they'd get back together, even though Finn didn't deserve it. On the other hand, Finn and Huntress Wizard were incredibly compatible. They matched, had amazing chemistry, and their relationship was healthy. It worked. And after that first episode that hinted at the possibility of the two having a relationship, I went nuts. I kept rooting for them to show more of the two together, and they actually did. To be honest, I'll never truly be at peace. I wanted so badly to see more episodes of them. They were both free spirits, passionate about adventure, respected each other's space, enjoyed each other's company, understood one another, and genuinely liked each other. They gave off the feeling that they had a deep friendship alongside their romance. After everything Finn went through, that portrayal of a beautiful, healthy, and calm relationship became something that simply soothed my soul. It showed me a more beautiful side of what makes a relationship so worthwhile. In short, those two were perfect together. And look, even though I love the idea of them ending up together in the end, as I just expressed here, at the same time, I can't help but think that it wouldn't have suited either of them. After all, as I said, they were free spirits, constantly changing and seeking excitement and adventure in their lives. I don't see Finn ending this series without a girlfriend as something terrible or depressing at all. I believe Adventure Time was never about Finn's romantic relationships or which girl he'd end up with in the end. It was about his growth throughout the story, how he gained maturity and became a better person. Some of the lessons that contributed to that growth were reflected in these relationships. Relationships are, after all, a part of life. They're a part of growing up. I won't lie though, I felt a little ache in my heart not seeing the Huntress Wizard with Finn and Obsidian. Even so, I still feel like crying with joy when I see grown-up Finn, looking happy and at peace with that tattoo of Jake near his heart, moving forward toward the future, accompanied by his new adventure partner.